All right, so you wanted to deep dive on this wealth DNA code thing, huh?
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty interesting one.
It is interesting for sure.
I mean, we got NASA, we got chakras, we got sound frequencies, all promising to like attract wealth.
Yeah.
Pretty wild stuff.
Yeah.
I got to say, I'm intrigued by it.
Right.
I mean, who wouldn't be, right? But I'm also like, trying to keep a healthy bit of skepticism.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's understandable to be skeptical for sure.
Yeah.
The story at the heart of this whole thing is quite a ride.
Okay.
It starts with this guy, Alex Maxwell.
Okay.
And he's telling this story of like, you know, financial struggle.
Right.
Then he has this chance encounter with a former NASA scientist named Jim.
Okay.
And this leads to like a whole theory about wealth DNA.
Okay.
And like some secret experiment with twins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
It is a story and a half.
it is.
And it's told like a movie, right?
It is, right.
Like Maxwell's daughter wants a bike for her birthday. He can't afford it. He's feeling down in the dumps. And bam, he meets this mysterious Jim at a bar.
Right.
Who spills the beans about this, you know.
Secret NASA project.
Yeah. It's almost too perfect, you know.
It's a little too convenient, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But what's interesting is like how Maxwell's story really taps into that universal desire for like financial security.
Makes sense.
You know, he presents himself as like this average guy facing like relatable struggles, which makes it relatable.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you add the scientific mystery and all these like impossible coincidences.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, oh, this could happen to me.
Exactly. It could happen to anyone.
Yeah, like his nephew just happening to be a code breaker.
Right.
Who can decipher Jim's cryptic notes from NASA.
Yeah, exactly. Come on now.
It all feels
very orchestrated. It's like a well-written screenplay.
Yeah, very convenient.
Yeah. And that's part of what makes it so compelling, right? We're wired to respond to stories.
Makes sense.
And Maxwell's narrative is very, very carefully constructed to evoke a range of emotions. Curiosity, hope, excitement.
Yeah, so he's like playing on our desire for a quick fix, you know.
Yes.
The shortcut to financial abundance.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
who doesn't want that?
I would love a shortcut to financial abundance.
I know, right?
But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's unpack the science behind this wealth DNA.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really curious about this idea that we only use 8% of our DNA.
Okay.
And the rest of it's just waiting to be unlocked for wealth.
Right. Yeah, that's
one.
Yeah, it's a common myth that's used to support these kinds of claims. But the reality is that we use all of our DNA. The thing that might be causing the confusion is this concept of jump DNA.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which refers to like sections of DNA that don't directly code for proteins.
Okay.
But even those sections have important functions, like regulating gene expression.
Okay. So it's not really junk DNA.
No, not really.
Okay.
It's just understood.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We just didn't understand it before.
Right.
So we called it junk.
Okay. So no secret wealth DNA hiding in the unused 92%.
Not quite.
Okay.
While epigenetics does study how environmental factors can influence gene expression, it doesn't support the idea that we can like specifically activate DNA for wealth.
Okay.
Imagine a plant's genes, right?
Okay.
They're the same whether it's in sunlight or shade. But the growth is dramatically different based on the environment.
Yeah.
Epigenetics is similar.
Okay.
Our environment and lifestyle choices can influence how our genes express themselves.
Okay. But it's not about unlocking specific sections for specific outcomes, like wealth.
So it's more complicated than just like flipping a switch.
Yeah, exactly. It's way more complicated than that.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So while our environment and choices can impact our genes, it's not as simple as like flipping a switch on a specific wealth gene or something.
Exactly.
Okay, what about the chakras then?
Okay.
They keep popping up in the material, and I'm curious how they fit into all this.
Right. So chakras are energy centers within the body that are recognized in various spiritual traditions.
Okay.
They're associated with different aspects of our being, including like emotional and physical well-being. Okay. But this idea of connecting them directly to DNA or activating them with specific frequencies like the wealth DNA code suggests, there's just no scientific evidence.
Okay. So we're seeing a blend of scientific concepts with like spiritual ideas.
Exactly.
Which, makes for a very compelling narrative, but doesn't necessarily hold up under scientific scrutiny.
Exactly.
What's interesting to me, though, is how this story weaves together all these different elements to create this sense of mystery and intrigue.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Right.
It's like a puzzle where the pieces seem to fit together perfectly.
Yeah.
Even if the overall picture is a bit fantastical.
Yeah.
And that's part of what makes these kinds of narratives so alluring.
Right.
They offer a sense of hope and possibility.
Yeah.
Especially for people who are struggling or,
You feel like they're stuck.
feel like they're in a rut. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, like it's giving us permission to believe in something bigger than ourselves.
Right.
Something that can help us achieve our dreams.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm curious about the product itself.
The Wealth DNA Code product. What does it actually involve?
So the product is essentially a set of audio tracks with specific sound frequencies.
Okay.
According to Maxwell, you're supposed to listen to them through headphones for 7 minutes a day.
Right.
And this somehow activates your dormant wealth DNA.
So it's all about sound frequencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty simple concept.
Seems pretty simple, yeah.
It is.
And that's probably part of the appeal.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
It's effortless.
Right.
You don't have to read all these books or...
No complicated financial strategies or, hours of self-help.
Right, exactly.
Just listen to these tracks and watch the money roll in.
7 minutes a day to unlock financial abundance.
Yeah, that's the promise.
It's very tempting.
It is.
But is there any scientific basis for this?
That's the question.
Right. Can sound frequencies actually alter our DNA?
Right.
Or attract wealth? Come on.
While sound can definitely impact our mood and even our physical state, I mean, think about the calming effect of nature sounds or the energizing beat of a dance track.
Yeah, okay.
But there's no scientific evidence to support that specific frequencies can change our DNA or directly attract wealth.
Okay, so there's something to be said for the impact of sound.
Absolutely.
But maybe not.
But not to that extent.
To that extent, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess it's easy to see how people might be drawn to this.
Of course.
Especially, if they're feeling desperate or disillusioned with traditional paths to financial success.
Absolutely.
That's
it plays on our desire for quick fixes and easy solutions.
Yeah. Instant gratification.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We live in a culture that celebrates instant gratification.
That's true.
So a product that promises wealth without much effort is bound to attract attention.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
But what about the testimonials on Maxwell's website?
Yeah.
They seem pretty convincing.
They do seem convincing.
People from all walks of life claiming to have achieved financial success after using the Wealth DNA Code.
Yeah, testimonials can be incredibly persuasive.
Okay.
Our brains are wired to trust stories and personal experiences.
Right, because it's if it happened to them, it could happen to me.
Yeah, and we don't hear from the people who didn't see results.
Right, that's true. It's like a highlight reel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You only see the best parts, not the struggles and setbacks.
Right, exactly. And it's important to remember that correlation doesn't equal causation.
100%.
Just because somebody achieved financial success after using this product doesn't mean the product was the cause.
Doesn't mean it was the cause. That could be a million other factors.
It's like saying, I ate a sandwich for lunch and then I won the lottery.
Yeah.
Therefore, eating sandwiches causes you to win the lottery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a perfect analogy. It highlights the importance of critical thinking.
Yeah.
We need to be able to evaluate information objectively, consider all the possible explanations, and not jump to conclusions based on anecdotal evidence.
So while those testimonials might be compelling, we can't take them at face value.
We can't just take them at face value.
We have to.
We need to dig deeper.
Yeah. Look at the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Okay. And speaking of the bigger picture, I think it's worth pointing out that the way this product is marketed plays a significant role in its appeal.
Absolutely. Right.
The website,
it's very sleek.
It is.
And modern.
Very modern.
With lots of bold claims.
Lots of promises.
Promises, yeah.
It definitely creates a sense of excitement and possibility.
Right. Like, I could do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the presentation itself is part of the persuasion strategy.
It's part of the strategy.
Oh, yeah.
It's designed to convey a sense of professionalism, credibility.
Makes sense.
And exclusivity.
Right. Like, this is
for you.
Special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're special.
Right.
The limited time offers and discounted prices create a sense of urgency.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Encouraging those impulse purchases. Like, gotta get it now.
You gotta get it now.
Before it's gone.
Before it's too late. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you have all these, like, bonus materials.
Right.
Like the 30-day planner.
Yeah.
The report on millionaires' seed money. The 17 traits of wealth titans.
All the bonuses. Yeah. They're throwing in everything of the kitchen sink to sweeten the deal.
To sweeten the deal, right?
Right.
Okay.
Those bonuses are carefully chosen to enhance the perceived value of the product.
Okay.
They tap into our desire for self-improvement.
Yeah.
Right? And they offer a roadmap for achieving financial success.
Even though the core premise of the product, activating wealth DNA through sound frequencies, lacks scientific validity.
Right.
So it's a very cleverly crafted package.
It's a cleverly crafted package designed to appeal to our desires.
And bypass our critical thinking.
Our critical thinking. Right. Yeah. It's a reminder that we need to be vigilant consumers of information.
Yeah. Especially, when it comes to like finances and stuff.
Especially when it comes to our money.
Yeah.
It's easy to get swept up in a compelling narrative, especially when it promises something we deeply desire.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to be wealthy?
I know.
Right. But this whole thing raises a larger question.
Yeah.
How do we distinguish between like genuine opportunities for growth and self-improvement and products that are just preying on our vulnerabilities?
Right.
What advice would you give to our listeners who might be tempted by products like the Wealth DNA Code?
First and foremost, be skeptical.
Okay.
If a product or service seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Probably is.
Do your research.
Okay.
Look for evidence-based claims.
Okay.
And be wary of anecdotal evidence.
Like those testimonials.
Exactly like those testimonials.
Okay, so be wary of those testimonials.
Yes. Be wary of anecdotal evidence in general.
Okay. Yeah, it's like we're constantly searching for that like magic bullet.
Yeah.
The thing that's just going
to
solve all our problems.
That will fix everything.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where the danger lies. When we're so caught up in that search, we can become vulnerable to products and schemes that are promising the impossible.
But how do we stay open to like new ideas, new approaches without falling prey to those traps?
Yeah, it's like walking a tightrope between curiosity and skepticism.
Right.
I think it comes down to developing a discerning mind.
Okay.
Being able to like evaluate information critically, question sources, look beyond those like surface level promises.
So it's not about shutting ourselves off from new possibilities.
Not at all.
But just approaching them with a healthy dose of critical thinking.
Exactly. It's about asking yourself, like, what's the evidence? Does this claim align with what we know about the world?
Right.
And most importantly, does it feel right in my gut?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Does it feel right?
Yeah, trust your gut.
In my gut,
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, sometimes our intuition can be a really powerful guide.
Yeah.
If something feels off or too good to be true, it probably is.
It probably is right.
Yeah.
Okay, so trust yourself.
Trust yourself.
Do your due diligence.
Do your research.
And remember that there are no shortcuts.
There are no shortcuts.
To genuine growth and success.
Exactly.
All right, well said.
Thank you.
I think we covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah.
Exploring the narrative, the science, the marketing behind the Wealth DNA Code.
It's been fascinating.
It has been fascinating.
Yeah. A deep dive into the world of belief and persuasion.
And the allure of quick fixes.
It's
tempting.
It is tempting.
Right.
But critical thinking is so important.
It really is.
In a world that's just saturated with information.
Absolutely.
And promises.
Yeah, so to our listeners out there.
Yes.
Remember to stay curious.
Yes.
Stay informed. And most importantly,
stay empowered.
Stay empowered to make wise choices.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everybody.